So here we are. Welcome, welcome. Let me do what I hadn't get a chance to do yet here, and that is get the real star of the show. So I will be right back. We will get started 1 minute. 1 minute. Here we go. There you go, buddy. Let me say hi to everybody. All right, so here is our star right there, just freshly woken up. Yeah. Hello, 2 days. So what we've got here tonight, right? Cappy and I are hanging out. He's running away. So hopefully he'll come back, but we are home alone. So the girls are doing a girls' night thing. So we're going to sit here and we're going to play with some cards that we found. This I got as part of a deal off Facebook Marketplace. And this is half of the deal. Now, the other half I actually already went through. I was pretty solid. There were some numbered cards in it. There was, a lot of, it was all modern. And, some basketball, some football, some baseball, and mostly baseball. So we'll see what's in here. Hopefully find some other good stuff. I needed the box, though, for the other half of the deal. The box just happened to be perfect for an order that I had to ship, so I had to use that. But we'll see what's in this. This in and of itself is probably, a decent value. This little plastic thing, though it definitely needs cleaned. But still, we've got that. And then I've got some stuff over here, still from when I met with John Jabs from The Past is Alive. God, probably 2 weeks ago now, maybe 3. It's 2.5, something along those kind of lines. But yeah, whenever we met up and I got cards from him, I've got the biggest binder I've ever seen of cards. I've never seen a binder that thick. And then I've got a, flat rate box over there that if we still want to hang out and we're just having fun, we'll go through and we'll do that as well. So let's see what's in here first. Let's go under the hood and find out. And hopefully Cappy comes back and we will, talk about whatever, because all these things will eventually wind up in, my Etsy packs, my Etsy shop. Sales going on for, 4 more days? So head on over there and find out. So we got some Ginter, we got some 23 tops, and when I turn this around, you can definitely see it was in the picture, too, from the, the start of the video. Right, it's got some 21 tops in here as well. So let's grab those first, because it looks like some Ginter and stuff, too. Let's see if we can find numbered cards and things like that. Like I said, I found in the other half of this randomness. So these were, this and the other half was $30 I paid on Facebook to a guy, here locally, of course. And when I see these kind of random deals that I can get modern stuff, especially for that sort of thing, I just wind up going out there and trying to get it the best I can. Don't always win, but it's better than when I see something like this, because there's plenty of times I see something along these kind of lines and the price tag will be like $800, right? So when somebody's actually realistic about it, I go out there and get it. Matt Harvey as an Oriole. So update series from that year. Duval. I don't like this. The one thing I really don't like about the 21 design is how small the names are and everything on this. It's a decent card, but other than the names in and of itself, it's hard for these old eyes, especially if I'm looking through my phone here. Hauser's having a decent comeback here. Owings, Thomas. Speaking of pitchers, right? Zach Wheeler. Speaking of pitchers, they just announced the All-Star Game pitchers. Skubal versus Skeens. So that should be fun for the first, probably, inning anymore, right? They don't go 2 or 3 like they did back when I was a kid. Maybe we'll get 2 out of one of them. Who knows? But what's Skeen's record? I mean, it's Skeens. He's got great stuff. He's got no support. But he may have the worst record to ever start an All-Star game. It's like 3-7 or something like that. And again, it's not him. It's what's around him. Dom Smith. What year is Gypsy Queen? 22. Cameron, Contreras, Arenado. So what else we got in here? More of this Gypsy Queen. Don't get a lot of Gypsy Queen or Ginter, so we'll probably go there next. Gonzalez, Garcia. We got a green, a couple greens. Greens aren't numbered if I remember correctly here in Gypsy Queen. They're just inserts. So parallels, I should say. Donaldson, Devers, who's oh so popular. McNeil is my PC, so we're going to keep that over here for my PC pile. And Choi, one of these days, if I ever stop making packs and that sort of thing, I've got so much in the queue. I'm turning to other people, right? I've got to do the Mia tribute video, Molina in the green. And I've got to do my PC. But when I do my PC stuff, I want to organize it first. Because I've got so much stuff now anymore that I've randomly pulled aside that I just want to make sure they are, you know, in order, no duplicates, right? That sort of thing that my OCD needs to handle. It's like 22 Ginter and a lot of it. Hendricks, Liam Hendricks. Ichiro in the MVP and Rookie of the Year from 01. Here is Scherzer, 17 Cy Young. Contreras again. Back to 23, which the print run on was about 85 million. Monty Irvin, Bieber, Brian Reynolds. Did you see Brian Reynolds' no trade list? He's got tee times in October. Contreras again. George Brett. Who's this? DeGrom? I don't know if I have that. I'll put that down here. Who's Glover? Is that really Danny Glover? It is. Danny Glover of Lethal Weapon fame, probably. Yeah. The color purple, of course. Angels in the Outfield. I forgot he was in that, too. Danny Glover. I have no idea who Andrews is. Malika Andrews. Sure. Horowitz. Don't know that one. Benny Horowitz. The Gaslight Anthem. Too modern for me. Lopez. Rad Lopez. Landesteiner. So a gold medal of what? Curling. Curler. The Gypsy Queen Allen again. Tom needs to bring Gypsy Queen back. Tell you what, I didn't even know they got rid of it. I think Panini is the one's going to print anything and everything they can, right? Especially in the football side, because I think it's August, or not August, April of next year when they lose the licensing. So Topps got rid of Big League too, right? And they replaced it with that Celebration box that was so hard to find. Roger Clemens pitching a gem. Duke Snyder. Steven Strasburg pitching a gem. 2022 was the last year. No kidding. I didn't even notice. Greenberg, Yelich. I mean, come to think of it, I can't picture it on the shelf, so. just one of those things, right? Who is Mewis? Sam Mewis, a soccer player. Here is Chicken Parm Day, which I had no idea until I watched the hot dog eating contest that dude lives in the next town over from me, that Joey Chestnut guy. I had no idea. Grushika, a musician for Newfound Glory. White Westman, tattooist. Nair, soccer player again. There's an umpire. Murphy, Morgan Murphy, stand-up comedian. Paprocki, PA announcer. Drew Rosenhaus, yeah, because he needed a card. Jameson, artist. Chris Hansen's the NFL guy, isn't he? Scott Hansen, yeah, the Red Zone guy. Davey Cutts looks like a barber. Is that Malika Andrews again? Is that Bradley Beal? Yeah. Hamilton, Matt Hamilton, another curler. Tool, Kendall Tool, fitness influencer. Balkovec. This is why I don't buy a lot of Ginter. Baseball coach. All right, well, she's a baseball coach. She can stay with the team. Soccer player again. Hansen again. All these things that I'll do with this, that's Michelle Wee West, the golfer, the retired golfer, I should say. But that's why I don't buy a lot of Ginter with all this randomness, and especially of like modern pop culture stuff that, you know, I just don't know anything about. Schuster, another curler. Ellis, radio host. Ellis hosts the Jason Ellis show on Sirius XM. Okay. Who's Bobo? Eric Bobo. Latin jazz. Dubner. Stephen Dubner, an author. That is Crystal Salt. Kosher salt. Here we've got the West Coast versus the East Coast. You know, who you repping? Charlie Sheen. A lot of these are the same. Who's House? Dave House. If I open the window here in a little bit, I live about 1.5 miles from the Ruoff Music Center. If you want to look that up here in the Indianapolis area. So you might hear Dave Matthews as they're playing down the street tonight. Be an interesting way to get a copyright strike, wouldn't it? Martin Sheen. Salt again. We've seen all these. Who's Grice? Looks like a Hobby Wunderkind. He's a YouTuber. Okay, so hello, Blake, if you're watching. Sendog. Rapper. Scott. Barbecue chef. That's cool. I'll get into that. Love me some barbecue. Osborne. John Osborne. Brothers Osborne. Here is, well, if you got salt, you got to have pepper. Duplass. Mark Duplass, actor. No, I've never seen those, any of those things. So, Barons, Charlie Barons, journalist and comedian. So this whole pile, kind of turning back into baseball as I'm reaching in here. So we got here, slam dunk contest, coffee day, and another influencer probably or something. Softball player and fitness trainer. Be Real, right, from Cypress Hill. The other brothers Osborne, yeah. Cayenne Pepper, Heart, from The Scandals. Yeah, it lost me. And another curler. So back to baseball, finally. And again, it's there's been so much Ginter sitting on the shelf here recently. I've noticed, especially like when I go to the Goodmeyer up the road here, that, you know, I'm always tempted, like, should I get one? If it was on clearance, I probably would, but it's not marked. So, but that's why, because I just get some of that stuff, and I don't, all that stuff's going to go in my overstock box, which I put 2 up today, and one have been sold. One's already sold, and I don't know if they'll fit in the other one, so I guess I got to start to a new one. Because I had a lot of, from John, I got a lot of, there's Otani, hockey and basketball, and I just don't deal with it. So I just throw them all in a box and let them go. Because I don't have time. I mean, I watch hockey, right? And especially, you know, the Rangers and stuff. It's, you know, it's down the list of things I watch, but as I've said many times, I do not watch the NBA. Yankees and Red Sox, famous rival. Murphy. We can pick these up a little, right? Matsui. There's that DeGrom again. Is that the same year? I don't think it was. Oh, it was. Okay. Steve Carlton. A couple Steve Carltons. Clemente. Verlander. Willie Mays. Millot. Garrett Cole. All right, let's reach into a different part here. Let's see what else we can find. Come back around. Looks like we're not going to run out of Ginter anytime soon here. I think there's more Ginter in the Jabs box, too. Setsugo, a couple of his, different teams. Locane, there's more Ginter here anyway. Lou Gehrig. I like these, though. I like having different stuff, so not just giving you the base product, right, when I make the packs. The old mystery packs. France, Banks. Strasburg. Perez. Well, Perez swings at anything, doesn't he? Watching him play the Mets. He just swings. Why did I put this over here? That goes there. Okay. And Teoscar Hernandez. Let's find something that isn't just Ginter. We looked at those. All right, this looks like more glossy cards here. So what are we going to do with a trade deadline? I mentioned that because this guy. So anybody going to give anything for him in his 190 batting average? It'd be an interesting deadline. So there's a lot of teams still hanging around the, the fringes of the playoff race that are probably going to want stuff. I got to have that Pete. Aaron Judge. There's only so much the Orioles and the Royals, or not the Royals, the Rockies, and teams like that can give up. People are going to want. The White Sox, of course. Birdie. This is all update, too, I believe, from 2021. Still waiting for Cappy to come back. Hopefully he does. Wonder where he went. If he doesn't come back soon, I'll go find him. Hope everybody else is having a good night out there tonight. Whoops, who's due to do that? Always got to hit the tripod at some point. What's this? Propaganda. I thought it might be something, but post your pools. Is that a Topps holiday? Maybe we'll see some holiday in here. More 21 base. Still all update. And we can kind of fast forward a little, can't we? It's all 21 update, and it's kind of limited in terms of how much variety there's going to be. Let's get this mess kind of organized here a little bit. Every which way. There we go. Some 23s and some more of that Allen and Ginter. Come on. There we go. Series 2. 23. Went looking around again a little bit for some of these, mystery packs and the other things I like to open. See if we can find some new stuff. That Donruss box is interesting. I'm still shocked by what 1,500 points was going for there on eBay. I thought I'd hit something that was, had value, but not that kind of value. All right, there's something red right here. I'm going to cheat and pull down to the bottom here and see if we can find something. Oh, it's top-loaded, or penny sleeve, too. So maybe that is something in this here. So 23 base, going fast just because it's 23. And there's about 100 videos on this channel you can probably watch and find some 23. Garcia Tellez. And that's what is penny sleeved. I've never seen this before. It's Joensky Noel, the heritage sort of design. I'm guessing this is some kind of short print or something. I mean, not exactly a prominent player or anything like that. No big hits yet. Just a lot of base from Allen and Ginter and 23 and whatever this is. I like the design. I mean, it looks like the packs. But minor league card. So I don't know where to put that. Let's do this. We'll leave that right there. Yeah, some 22. Sam Huff out of Absolute randomly in here. Of course, we pulled his autograph a few months ago. Out of that's what the autographs that were stuck together in a pack. You can find that video. Not the two autographs that I just pulled, not the football players. You have to go back further. It was him and it was Jonathan India, wasn't it? Chapman, Profar. We got the Meyer purple here. Austin Meadows from 22. So I'm guessing, the guy that I got this from, probably you know, of course, went through, took out everything you wanted, right? Took out the big hits. And, you know, he lived right behind a Meyer, or at least the house I went to was right behind a Meyer. Cappy is the goat of cards. Well, Cappy is the goat of knowing when there's good stuff, because I had to go get him since I accidentally started the stream early. We got him here. He said hello. He yawned, and then he ran. So we're back to kosher salt again. Here we go. What's this? You can see the difference here of... Give me a base card. So it's a chrome Allen & Ginter, the Strasbourg. You can see the shininess there. He is the GOAT. He knows. He knows. So let's leave this down here so we have something shiny down here at us. Oh, we got another one. Melot. You found an Aaron Judge RPA 1/1. I wish. I have never pulled a 1/1. Right, just like I titled the thing a little clickbaity there, right? Since I found points and I didn't know what to say about it. But I've never pulled points before then. I've never pulled a 1/1. I don't think I've ever pulled. I've had cards that were less than 10, right? That I've got out of like mystery things like this, but I've never pulled anything less than 10 that I remember. I mean, I know I did the Spencer Howard and stuff like that when I was on that Phillies run where I kept pulling, you know, low-numbered cards out of Chronicles. I was getting them out of one of them, but this is all. It's all 21 base. So let's just look at a couple randomly through here and then see what else we can find. I think there's more variety in the Jabs box too, as I keep looking in here. But I had no idea what was in this. He'll try as hard as he can. He'll try as hard as he can as long as I keep giving him, you know, temptations, which I'm still going through the ones that, you know, Brian sent me a little while ago. And as long as I do, you know, other stuff. In fact, I just mentioned the other overstock box. It literally just sold. It just popped up on here. So I made the 2 overstock boxes today. One of them sold within half an hour of it going off. The other one literally just went right now. So all the basketball cards and stuff. That's why I make those. They're going quick. Maybe I can mix in some salt and pepper for them here, if I can fit it. Delmarva Shorebirds, Salisbury, Maryland, hello. Right. South Bend Cubs, so up the road here a little while. Clearwater Threshers. So this is the Heritage Minor League stuff. FCL Nationals, Florida Coast League, I guess. Jupiter Hammerheads, ACL, FCL. Some leaders. I think I can make me work for that one. FCL Nationals again, Marlins, Athletics. For getting 22 base cards, we're going to find the Orioles pitchers that we always pull, Alex Wells, at some point. It's had a rough doubleheader there in Baltimore a couple days ago. They'll be interesting sellers. Oh, Hearn, you got to figure they deal, right? Will they deal anybody else? What's up there? Is that Go? What's up, Go? Let's see. This box is all going to be Ginter and that sort of stuff. There's nothing shining at us again. Then we're just going to go to the other box. Maybe we'll come back around to this, because that's all just more of that 22 Ginter. Which, other than pulling out Mets for myself, that's probably all we're going to do in here. But the other box, like I said, the other half of this Facebook deal, I got, you know, a handful of the year numbered cards and stuff like that. There's some stuff. Is that? No, it's just different colors. Let's see what this is. There's some penny sleeve stuff in that pile. About a year ago, Teixeira 1/1. That'd be hot. From 22 flagship tops. That's. Was it a? It couldn't have been. Was it a retail pack or was it a hobby box? My daughter is changing schools, so she'll be going to a school on down the road here. So I'll be driving past the Indie Card Exchange, which is the local card shop here. And that'll allow me to do a little bit more stuff there, because it's just, until then, right, until us having to go down there to take her to school and stuff like that, it was just out of the way. So it came out of a blaster, no kidding. Wow. So Luke Voigt and Kelvin Gutierrez in the Meyer purple. Gonsolin. There we got some Stadium Club. That's what the different color was. So Hideki Matsui, Shane Bieber, Tyler O'Neill, Real Muto, and that's it. And then we're back to 2021 stuff. So let's see what the penny sleeve thing is in here. Let's try to reach that out. Let's grab this here. See if that's anything interesting again. More 23s. This is still Series 2 from 23. Machado starting the All-Star game again. Alek Manoah. Whatever happened to Alek Manoah? So here's our penny sleeved card. It is Luis Rodriguez of the Dodgers. Baseball Stars #9. I don't know what this would be out of. Can't even read the year on it. 17 tops. Anybody have any knowledge of what these cards were? Or why it would be penny sleeved versus the rest of this? Well, it can't be 17 tops because that says, talking about 2021, unless it was just copy written in 17. But, yeah. More 22s there. Anything else look different in here? Otherwise, let's go to the other box. There's some penny sleeve stuff over here. Let's see what this is. Lots more of the 22s. Mountcastle's a name you got to figure is going to move, right? If he's healthy. So here's more of these shiny ones. Joe Mauer. Rod Carew. Looks like 89 Bowman. The annoying tall cards. You're right. It does kind of look like that. Rizzo, Buxton. Buxton's the name's been kicked around a lot. There he is again. Byron Buxton and all the twins there and the shiny stuff. So what is this? Random Bowman. That was what the different colors were. Ethan Hankins from 2019 Bowman. And Tyler Freeman. Still got a penny sleeve card in my hand, though. So no idea what that's going to be. Random Arenado from 22 Donruss. Yeah, I passed a K-line. He was in there. Tyler Glass now. It's just his base card for some reason. Was the penny sleeved card. It's not a... No, it's just a base. So, got me a penny sleeve. I got about 2 boxes of penny sleeves I need to put up on eBay. Just full, medium, flat rate boxes. Nothing but penny sleeves. Molina. What else is hiding in here? Anything else look different? Yeah, see, there's nothing really... Let me get in here. There's nothing really looking different on the side. It all looks like just regular old... I think I touched the top loader here. Let's pull this. Put this back up here. There we go. See what we can get out of this. Well, now we know why Cappy ran away. I guess the other box is where the better stuff was in terms of, like hits, that type of thing. This was more just the base, which is fine. All of this will get used. It's all in good shape. That's what I care about. All right, let's get down here to where the penny sleeved card is. Rich Hill. Pujols. And hand Corbin Burns. Recovering from Tommy John. Yeah, it looks like a rainbow foil when we get back here. It was sticking out. Rainbow foil of Lorenzen. I saw the angel. I got excited for a second, but it's just Michael Lorenzen in the rainbow foil. Any other penny sleeve cards? If I just run my hands like this? No. All right, why don't we just set this aside for a minute here, since we can tell what's in there. And let me get in this other box. Go right over here. Let me get these non-sports cards out of the way here from Ginter. And drop them all on the floor. That's good. So let's get the box where we can see it. I'm going to pick these out of the way, just the shiny ones here. I'll leave the rainbow foil and these other 2 cards. And let's do this. So this was from John at the Past is Alive. Right, you can check out his channel. Great channel if you're into like, not just sports cards and stuff like that, especially older stuff, right? You like the junk wax, you like that sort of thing, right? And you like toys. He does a lot of toy stuff too, which is cool. And right off the top, this is actually a PC card of mine, and I don't have this. It's very rare for me to find a card of Gary Carter from the junk wax era that I don't have, but I don't have this. This is those Donruss pop-out cards, which I'm going to pop it out. And I'm going to display it because I've got like Davey Johnson up here. Heavy into junk wax. Yeah, me too. But Gary Carter is my original PC, right? He was my favorite player as a kid. And you can see how the pop-out cards work, right? In fact, here's Dale Murphy's. But, yeah. So I've got somewhere up here on the Mets shelf is Davey Johnson. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Yeah, he kind of fell down up here. Let me get this out here. Yeah, see, Davey was hiding down here. It's a Brett Saberhagen autograph, but we'll put Davey back here, and I'll put Gary Carter. Yeah, let's keep him on camera for now. But we'll keep that right here. So, hey, you can see my computer. That's how I'm reading your comments, because I can't read them on the computer or on the phone while I'm doing this. It's the only way I can see it. So when you say hello, that's where I'm seeing it. But yeah, that excites me. I like that. He actually pulled some the other day I'd never seen before. I didn't know it existed. And it's a Gary Carter card. It's part of a set. The 1990 Donruss, like there was a, I don't know what to call it, Scholastic had a set or something like that, like a subset that they gave out to kids at some point. And what's up there, Steve? And I never knew that existed until I saw his video. And there's a Gary Carter in that set, so I'm gonna have to find that one. Oh look, more Ginter. But at least this is 2008 Ginter. So this is definitely different stuff. Billy Wagner, Scott Rowland as a Blue Jay, Gorzolani, Hudson, Alex Romero rookie. Don't come across a lot of 2008 Ginter. Kurt Schilling, Zambrano. Ooh, David Wright. David Wright Day is in 7 days. They're retiring his number. Joe Mauer, Delgado. Delgado, a very underrated player from that era, isn't he? Really good slugger. Nick Johnson, Johnny Damon. These cards are in very nice shape, too. Adam Dunn, Pedroia, Brad Penny, Victor Martinez, Shane Victorino, Pedro Feliz, Mark Spitz, really? I guess 2008, they put him in. Wouldn't, what's his name? Michael Phelps have been trying to break his record that year in the Olympics. Send me all the non-sports Allen and Ginter cards. Shoot me an email. I got nothing else to do with them. Shoot me an email. Let me know. Francisco Rodriguez. KappisCards@gmail. Chavez, Derek Lee, Maglio Ordonez. Is that a rugby player? It looks like a rugby ball to me, doesn't it? Yeah, rugby star. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. But rugby player. Charles Dickens. Okay. Davy Crockett. Jeff King. Is that an Iditarod? Is that the dogs? Right? Dog sledding? Iditarod champion. 5-time Iditarod champion. Mark Spitz again. Tchaikovsky, right? The composer. The Gateway Arch. Billy Mitchell. I feel like I should know who he is, and I don't. The Perfect Game of Pac-Man. Perfect score of 3,333,360. Requires a player to eat every fruit, power pellet, blue ghost, and dot without losing a life. How long would that take? So there's my guy lives in the town next to me, Joey Chestnut. So there's that. Matt Biondi, another swimmer. The name doesn't ring a bell. Carrie Strug, though, of course, doing the Olympic thing. That was the 96 Olympics, right? She hurt her ankle and still ran and did the vault and landed it so the team could win or whatever. Rampage Jackson is a UFC fighter, right? A mixed martial arts. Les Miles, right? LSU fame. Harriet Tubman. And Tchaikovsky again. So I'm setting the non-sports ones behind me here. But I'll take the Billy Mitchell, the biggest cheater in video game. He cheated. So how do you cheat? Right? Because I feel like sit there and not miss a ghost or something like that. It's been 40 years since I played Pac-Man. But to not miss, how do you do that? Bob Motley, Negro League umpire. Pluto, not a planet. Mary Shelley, Frankenstein, right? Novelist. The Grand Canyon. Fake the videos. Yeah, I guess that works. Cooper, and then we're back to baseball. So yeah, I guess if you had to record it and you just spliced it together right, I could see what you're saying. So Robbie Cano, Javi Vasquez, Andy Pettit, Rollins, Dye, Hardy, Burley, Freddie Sanchez, Johan Santana goes down to the PC, Cabrera, Overbay, Shields, Soriano, non-legal chipboards. You're gonna have to explain to me as somebody explain to me like I'm 5. I have no idea what you're talking about. Non-legal chipboard would be for a 1980 video game. Ryan Braun, Austin Kearns, Jeremy Hermidia, Posada, Jake Peavy, Valverde, JD Drew, and Keel, and Valverde again, Pierre, Kinsler, Grady Sizemore. A lot of names that I have not heard in a long time. Melvin Moore, Carlos Pena, getting traded in Moneyball. All right. Roy Oswalt, Derek Lee, Torrey Hunter as an Angel, Gallardo, Chase Utley, Schilling, Rios, Hudson, Papelbon. I can stop reading all these names, or I'm going to be here forever. Saltalamacchia. We'll read the fun ones. King Felix. Lance Berkman. Weaver. Jeff Kent. Nice. Computer chips in the arcade games, they're fixed to be in his favor. No kidding. I feel like that would take too much time to just even make it matter. You know what I mean? Hey, we talked about Mark Teixeira before. There you go. Mark Teixeira from Maryland. Where's he from in Maryland? 8th Maryland native to swat a major league home, 200 major league home runs. Where's he from? He would have been 6, 7, 8 years older than me. So I don't remember him playing high school baseball because I would have been too young. So the player that was on my team that wound up finding his way to the majors, he left my high school before he, got that. Severna Park. So down in the DC area. No, Garrett Stevenson, if you remember that name, he was fellow Linganore Lancer, about 15 minutes from me. Yeah, so you're down there in the DC area. So I'm from Mount Airy originally, outside of Frederick. And, Garrett Stevenson was there. He left, though. His senior year would have been my 8th grade year. He went to a different high school and then, went to, I want to say Allegheny Community College before he got drafted, and he pitched for the Cardinals and players like that. And I remember the coach on my baseball team, because by then, it was a little out. It was when I was in college, I think, when he was pitching in the major leagues. And I remember talking to the coach about it. He's like, I didn't know he could pitch. We were terrible. We were awful in baseball. Bonnie Blair, the speed skater. Curtis Granderson. Billy Wagner again, Roland. And we're getting there's your Pac-Man guy again. Gateway Arch again. So somehow are we getting collation even in this? We got 2 Wild Bill Hickoks. Wild Bill Hickok. I know he's not involved, but Haven't watched Tombstone in a while. I always loved that movie from the Old West there. It's always on. I just got to find a channel, right? It's always somewhere. Let's go to a different part of the box. Let's see what else we can find. What's this? Oh, more. Cole Hamels. Escobar. All right, what we got here? Oh, the old best minor league cards from the mid-90s. Yeah. Any names that stand out here? Jacob Cruz, I feel like I've heard of. And it's just them over and over again. Valentin, Jose Valentin, right? Abanya has played for a while. And more Valentines there. What the hell team was the Wizards? Fort Wayne, really? No kidding. Robert Smith, Nick Beerbot, and Preston Wilson played for a little while, right? Different Edwin Diaz there. Another Preston Wilson. And we're back to 13 Ginter with Rizzo there. Anthony Rizzo. Let's see. Some of these are penny sleeve. Let's see what we got here. We got some random-ish, what is this, 2020 Prism. Jeff McNeil for me. Javi Baez. How about him getting back to the All-Star game? Nola. And you got them. Joey Gallo is the penny sleeve stuff. All these Joey Gallos. Somebody had a Joey Gallo collection that John must have got from somewhere. Kelly Mann is for some reason top or penny sleeved from 91 Studio. That's an ugly ass card. Let's put like, you know, whatever that not red color is on cards. Not a good idea. O'Neill, Luis Robert, penny sleeved. Joe Adell, India, a couple of them. Brian Hayes, he might get moved. Rosarena, Salvi Perez again. And a couple more Gallos. Put these right here as I bang the tripod yet again. I'm very familiar with Mount Airy. Now that's pretty random, right? We get some Delaware folks in here from time to time, right? But nobody knows Mount Airy. Unless you're thinking of, you know, Mayberry and Mount Airy, North Carolina, right, with Andy Griffin. But Mount Airy ain't what it was when I was there, right? It's so, like everything else up around Frederick and all, it's just exploded. Lots of Johnny Damons, Josh Hamilton, more Gallos, Samardzija, Tim Anderson, Trevor Stories, penny sleeved, as is John Lester, Kyle Seager, Odorizzi, Strasburg. Is that 14 tops? 12 tops. Lincecum from 2012, Ginter. It's the Ginter variety rip. Blackman, it's not a rip. I'm just going through a box. Let's see, what else we got here? Let's try this row. I can get them out. There we go. Ooh, here we go, some junk wax stuff. This feels pack fresh. And if you know his channel, I bet these are out of like some of those boxes he gets, right, in the mail, or retro wax or whatever that they pay him to do. Or I don't know if they pay him, right? They just send him the cards and he opens it for publicity. Probably doesn't get money. But I guess he gets whatever he makes off the video, right? The ad money. But 88 Fleer, Deion James. 88 tops. Yeah, these are two definitely pack fresh. Yeah, Propaganda. Yeah, very pack fresh. I can feel the wax right on that one. Put these over here. Let's see what else we get. Let's try another grab here. How about some 90 Upper Deck, which I was driving around Frederick, right, after I dropped my mom off. And I don't know if anybody watches those Gordon Ramsay shows, right? Whatever the one's called now. He's in Frederick. It's this past week and then next week. It's a 2-part episode. And the restaurant that he was at, I drove past. And where it is, there used to be a baseball card shop when I was a kid. Right across the street from it, right? It's not even a strip mall, right? It's like mix of like dentist's office and stuff like that. And there was a card shop in there. I sold 2 Jerry Rice rookies for a wax box of 90 Upper Deck when it came out. I was 10 years old, okay? So I've still got 1 Jerry Rice rookie. I've got the set, but he made out in that deal in the end, right? But it was Upper Deck, right? Oh my God, remember the 89 set and how great it was? And you know, I was 10. I'll watch, what's that guy? Chris Sewell, right? Baseball card collector, investor, dealer, right? When in that order. He's also from Maryland, right? He's from down in the D.C. area. And, you know, every time he talks about the old baseball card shop, for some reason, I do remember visiting that shop when I was a kid. I have no idea if he was in there. But I was down in Gaithersburg or Rockville or whatever in that area. And I just, whenever I picture that shop and the one I just described, they always like overlap in my mind. So, blowing a horn out there. Like a truck horn. Dewey Evans. Craig Worthington. So let's go in this row. Let's see what's here. Of course, it's going to be 90 tops, right? If you know John's channel again, right? First of the month, he's searching for the ever elusive no name on front. So this is all, that's all 90 tops. And there's well, these must have been the grocery store things with Jeff King and Bob Milwaukee in the rookies insert set. So what's behind it here? We got some top-loaded stuff. Ooh, basketball card, random basketball card here. Steve Garvey and the things you used to get out of the TCMA or Pacific set. These were in like the J.C. Penney catalog that I remember. There was Sears catalog or something like that. Random Yarmir Yager mixed in. Manny Sanguian is penny sleeved. I guess Pittsburgh area. Matsui again. Jeremy Hellickson. Rocco Baldelli. Spencer Strider. Mountcastle, another random hockey card. That is a chrome of Zach Veen. Alexander Mogilny and Kalle Johansson. Luciano, what's this? Gavin Floyd, Keith Bucktrot, and Ryan Howard. Prospect card. Can't see what year that is of Fleer. I can't read it in the light. 06 Fleer. Different. Some 15 tops, right? Football cards. The last year until this past year. There's OBJ making that crazy catch, right, against the Cowboys. Kind of made his career. What else we got here? Another one of those. Richard Sherman. Rarenka. Martin. Mark Grace. Bazooka starter set. What the hell is that? Garrett Hanson, a bird, a cockatoo. Couple leaders there. Who's Kelly? And what the hell's behind it? Leo Kelly, another social media star. Calling himself the Shirley Temple King. I guess he likes the drink. It's not a bad drink. All right, is this that election? Oh, no. Oh, we're going to be talking now. Oh, no. Here comes the political science professor, everybody. Okay. Oh, 1992. That's the first election I can really remember getting into. That's probably why I am sitting when I'm doing the day job. That's probably why I'm there, right? The Pat Buchanan bailing out. There's Abe Lincoln in the election of 1860. I am going to nerd out. Oh, and there's a bunch of them. Self-announcement. What the hell's that mean? Oh, man. Vice presidential choice, so 92, right? Gore, Quayle, and Admiral Stockdale. Please tell me there's an Admiral Stockdale card in this. Turning out to vote. If you show up voting like that, don't vote. Yeah, that too, right? Is that Madonna? Yeah, Rock the Vote. Remember that? And if you're my age, you definitely have to remember Rock the Vote on MTV. That was a big thing back then. And of course, Clinton going on there and somebody asked him what kind of underwear he wore and stuff like that when he did a town hall on MTV. Pat Buchanan on issues. I bet if I flip this over, it'd be like Donald Trump. It's probably going to be the same thing. Remain first militarily, first on land. It's just about the military. Who cares? Jerry Brown, the former governor of California, and he became governor again after this, right? Determining the winners. Well, Rainbow Coalition, of course, Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson run that year? He ran in 88, 84. I don't think he ran in 92. There's Ross Perot. We're getting to that now. Oh, man. It's weird trying to explain to kids, right, that there was somebody that got 20% of the popular vote that wasn't of a Republican or Democratic Party. He got 18% or something like that, right? But, you know, the kids today, they weren't born. I mean, they were born 10 years at this point that I'm having in my undergraduate classes after this election. So they have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Republican selection of Dan Quayle, right? Indiana, Dan Quayle. There's Ross Perot. Competing for the nomination. That is Jesse Jackson's. Maybe he did run. Oh, there's a checklist. So Bush running for re-election. You know, read my lips, no new taxes. How much that sank him. Perot's impact on the system. Yeah, well. When you can buy 30 and 60-minute blocks on CBS and NBC like he did in prime time to get his point across, you know, that definitely helps. Jerry Brown again, that again, same cards. Some of these are going to wind up. Those are going to wind up in my office. I might have to make a wall of these. I've got a bunch of like the old Constitution cards, right? That were in some top set at some point, like 25 years ago, and the Declaration of Independence cards. I got some of them in there, and some of the ones I pulled out of Heritage recently, like Richard Henry Lee and people like that. These are going in there with it. This is total geek for me. Pro-choice, right? So the abortion fight, which hasn't changed since then. Gay rights, a bit of change in this one since then. The former Soviet Union, what's Yeltsin on a card? Seriously? Oh, there's Clinton, of course, with the saxophone, because he was, you know, that way. Rap music? What the? Oh, yeah, censorship, right? Those advisory labels on the CDs and records and stuff like that back then. Tipper Gore was involved with that, right? Past presidents. So everybody that was alive, I guess. Reagan, Nixon, Ford, Carter, and the elder Bush. There's Perot. Paul Tsongas. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Clinton again. Big elephant for the Republicans. I'm sorry, folks. I'm geeking out on this. Tom Harkin. So there's Bill Clinton. Douglas Wilder, right? The former governor of Virginia. Lots of just random Perot cards. The Year of the Woman, yeah. What became known as the soccer mom later, right? Possible Republican VP selections. So they were never replacing Quayle. Come on. Tsongas on the issues. Democratic VP selections. Yeah, he had an interesting choice there. Bob Kerrey definitely was a choice. He was never putting Brown on it. Tsongas, no. It's just all the people he ran against. It doesn't work. Quayle and Murphy Brown. Oh my God, remember that? Right? 'Cause she was a single mother. Possible Perot scenarios. What the hell does that mean? Oh, if no one got to 270, what would they do? So this is the quiz question card, right, in my class. Turning out to vote again, electing a president. There's magic again with AIDS. Surprise cards. Surprise cards. Surprise. The 1912 election. So yeah, going back to when Teddy Roosevelt ran as the third-party candidate, the Bull Moose Party, hence the picture. Bush on the issues. That is Robert Kennedy for the Democratic Party. All right. Watergate. What's this have to do with 92? The census. Yeah, that tells us about how important that is now. There's still a big fight about that from, 5 years ago. Conventions, Holy War, Jesse Jackson. Perot saddles up. The White House gets a card. I might have to take some of those 9-page sleeves and line my wall with this. Kids will come in my office and go, what the hell is all of this? If you like the decision card set, you should check Historic Autograph Card Company. Great historic sets in boxes. You know, I see if when I watch some of those, like, you know, big breakers, you know, Leighton and people like that, I'll watch them once in a while. And, you know, they'll pull out some stuff with some old cut autos and things like that from like Thomas Jefferson and all. That'd be really hot. Perot again. Oh, very old Electoral College map. Very old. And Florida's got less votes than Pennsylvania. Pro-life. Yeah, you had a pro-choice card, so now you need a pro-life card. Wealthy in America. Okay. The DNC was in New York that year, apparently. The World Trade Center in there. The 1960 election. Right? I guess that's an important one there, right? The debate being the first debate, right, on TV. And the debates were important in 92, not only for Perot, right, giving him some, you know, credibility, but George Bush looking at his watch during the one debate, that became controversial. Like, are we done here yet, right? Clarence Thomas still hanging around. Of course, it's going to be about sexual harassment, talking with him at that time. Speaking of sexual harassment, the guy knows a thing or two about it. And this guy, too. The deficit, gee. We long for the day of a $400 billion deficit, don't we? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get political, but come on. The JFK's assassination as a card. Who thought this was a good idea? Jackie Onassis, right there, Kennedy Onassis, spewing out to get her husband's head on the back of the card. Bush on the issues, right? Defense spending. Republicans on abortion. Oh my God, these have the numbers on them like the wild card football cards. That's crazy. These were like the insert kind of sets, right? Where they had the random numbers on it, and that was like a parallel set in the football at that time. That's crazy. Self-announcements, Pat Buchanan, dork card again, that. The woman, all right, so we're getting to George Bush jogging. And Perot. You know, it's funny, the Bush administration, one of the channels I follow on Instagram as a golfer is called Design Disasters, and they just show like different random holes from all across the country that are like awful design. And one of them, the one they had up, their last post is of a course I played growing up there in Frederick County. It's up by Camp David. It's called Maple Run, and the hole it's phallic. It looks like, you know, a man's genitalia. Right? And, you know, so I wrote them and I said, hey, you know, about this, there's worse, you know, holes on that course design wise, but B, there's a hole that Holly Hills Country Club that you need to check out. And I bring that up with the Bush administration because back then, John Sununu, the elder Sununu, right? Somebody quoting Clinton in the comments there, but the elder John Sununu took Army helicopters and to play that golf course. Like they all just decided, oh, we need to get there quick. So they took Army helicopters. He had to resign because of it. But he was in Bush's cabinet, I believe, when he did that. And it was just that course. So they're actually going to use what I sent them too. So hopefully soon get a little shout out. Not as Cappy. Here's Cappy's cards, right? But just as me. Speaking of Cappy, he never came back. I have to go get him after I'm done geeking out on these cards. We'll have to go find Cappy. So there's Murphy Brown, right? That was the controversy back then. Speaking of golf, with George Bush. That's part of the reason too. There's that hole, right, on that course. It's known as the President's Loop, and the story always went they changed the whole par from 5 to 4 because he birdied or he got 4 on it twice, so they made it a 4. It's just a stupid hole. There's George Bush again, the White House, Perot again. All right, so any cards here? Is the Nixon again? More Nixon. Who I've not seen on a card yet is Admiral Stockdale, unless I missed it. Is that Snoop Dogg? No, that's Ice-T. Why do I think that was Snoop Dogg? All right, we're getting a lot of dupes here. What's this? Perot's VP selection. Here we go. Who is that? Oh, Jean Kirkpatrick. Yeah. Yeah, I remember her. Okay. I don't remember her as a possible candidate because Perot was stuck. When he did some of the things with signing the petitions and stuff to get on ballots, some states required a vice presidential choice, and his friend was Admiral Stockdale. He's like, hey, can I just put your name on here? We'll change it when it's time. And then they found out they couldn't change it. So, yeah, they were kind of stuck. And Stockdale was not ready for prime time, right? He was a college professor at that time, right? Stockdale's claim to fame, right, was he was in the next cell from John McCain in the Hanoi Hilton. So, unfortunately, he's, in my world, he's remembered for the other stuff. More so. More Perot. Another Perot's VP card there. Come on. Super delegates. Songus. So we're seeing a lot of dupes here. Let's see if anything else. What's that? No, see, there's Clinton and his sex charges, right? Gee. Jerry Brown on the issues. Law and order, just like the president loves to tweet now, doesn't he? Or truth now, I guess I should say, right? Possible Perot scenarios. We saw that card. There's Bush with his no new taxes stuff, right, back then. Lee Harvey Oswald got a card. Come on. Schwarzenegger. Dick Cheney is a possible Republican VP selection. You're about 8 years too early, card. I'm sorry. JFK conspiracies with Oliver Stone. When did the movie come out? When did JFK come out? Was it 92? 93? I guessing with Oliver Stone being on there, it must have been around then. Turning out to vote. Kennedy again. More Perot. More Perot. Turning out the vote. All right. And I think we've got... How do you make all these and you not make a card with Admiral Stockdale on it? Unless I missed it. Maybe I missed one. Something like that. But I think... you can see where I pulled them out of. I think that's all of them. I think. Maybe there's a little more in here. Ken Griffey Jr. behind him there from 93 Upper Deck. So... Let me take a drink here. We've been here almost an hour. It's been over an hour. Oops. Of course, I dropped the lid. All right. Let's take a minute here. Let me see if I can go find Cappy. So I will be right back. I will let you look at Bob Guerin while I'm gone. What am I drinking? Starburst flavored sparkling ice. Maybe I'll go grab an adult beverage. All right. Let me give you a better card than that. You can look at, I don't know who Dillingham is. You get one of these. You can look at, here we go. You can look at the dork guy while I'm gone. I'll be right back. Happy boy. Happy boy. All right, I've got the star. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Got me a little adult beverage here. Not bad. All right. Everybody say hi to Cappy again before he leaves. Oh. Well, I was hoping to have a stream where Cappy would hang out with us and, you know, be like he is when I'm recording, but I guess he knows there's no hits in these box. So, what is this? Oklahoma City and Kigali. Is that sister cities? Yeah. So, grab me an adult beverage. One for the throwback here. When you're old, right, and you can't drink that kind of, you can't have sugar anymore, like I'm not supposed to, then, yeah, you get the zero sugar stuff. They'll be ready for the golf course tomorrow. Speaking of Cappy things, stickers. Cappy stickers. I'm including these in big orders, just randomly. So there's that one. That one. Nice and shiny. There's this one. Oops. There's this one. Tim sleeping by the cards. And then my favorite, just Cappy staring at you. So my wife's got a Cricut machine or something like that it's called, and she's making them for me. So you'll get some of these just randomly mixed into orders, right? Cappy stickers. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Random 89 scorecard that was facing the wrong way. This is definitely just 90 tops, so we can just pull that aside. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know she could even do that. I mean, I didn't know what that machine even did. It's something she wanted and her mom got her for her birthday like a year ago. And it's just been sitting around here. And I guess she's got a friend that knew what to do with it and showed her how to do it. And okay, if you want to do that, that's cool. I'll throw them in, right? Oh, who we got here in hockey? Murianov? Fisted? Eriksson? Verbeek? Ferraro? Mironov? Tharovsky? So some random hockey cards. Now that box is sold too, though. Is that Thunder? Roy Vaught there. Where's the basketball pile? Let's start over here. McLean, Suminski, Quint, Britton. Okay, I never knew Paul Tagliabue had a card. This had to be... Where did that come from? Commemorative collectible. I don't remember that out of the 90 top or Pro Set set. I remember the Santa Claus card, stuff like that. I don't remember the Paul Tagliabue card. I'm going to set that aside. Some Bowman Chrome from 2011, 2010. Lipka, a few of them. And this old 93-ish, right? 92 Bowman. Darryl Strawberry. Alomar House. Again, these have to be straight out of a pack. Billy Ripken. The wrong Billy Ripken card. And then more 90 tops. We're not even going to bother looking through all that. Let's see where the randomness we can dig out of here. Some more Ginter, random Ginter years. Jeff Probst. Right, for you fans of a show that I never really got into, Survivor. Senga. Add this to my PC pile here. Goldschmidt, Royce Lewis, Bailey. Who is this? Antonito? Greg Antonito of Bouncing Souls. Kruk from the Phillies. Siri, Adley Rutschman. I'm going to do that every time I get a Kruk card, right? I've got to give my homage to Carl Butananaluski. That is Charleston and Panama City. Kirby, Strider. Who is Lim? Magician. Yeah, for some reason I looked at him, I looked at the picture, like, this guy's a magician. I mean, I'd never heard of him, and he was a magician. Durban and New Orleans. Murakami. Istanbul and Rio. Francisco Alvarez, who hopefully will come back from the minors soon, hitting the ball. Tamburello, not just hitting the ball, but fielding the ball would be nice too. From the Real World Paris. Towers. Mike Towers. Logan Webb. Hoffman. Shanghai and Chicago. William. Got Xander Schauffele back here, golfer. I don't know who Williams is. No, Caleb Williams. Just don't recognize him without, uniform on. So I'll actually mix that into the Bears packs. And some 90 Donners. Do they have the period? Oh, they do. I'm not internet rich. What else? There's some penny sleeve stuff in here. Let's reach back here for that. All right, what we got here? Randomness. Earl Weaver. That's got to be a reprint, right? Yeah. Mad Bum in Optic. The 1990 design, but it's an Optic, right? From 017. DeGrom there. Pretty sure I have that one. Mountcastle. Brandon Webb. Boy, Brandon Webb had that one awesome year, and then whatever. Mike Stanton at the time. Joey Gallo. Lots of Joey Gallos. Somebody had a Joey Gallo collection. Hoskins. Jared Walsh. Hoskins again. Hira. All the rookies that didn't work out for big careers. Bieber. Another one that had he's still all right. He's been hurt, though. Kevin Parada. Still hanging around the Mets minors, I believe. What we got here? Let's grab this. This is the Bubble Tops, are 08. Zach Duke. LaRoche. So I definitely going to have a little bit of sorting to do. Still. It's going to take me a while to get through all of this. There's still, I think, a little bit more downstairs from the Jab stuff. Here's a Bowman Heritage. Looks like that card we pulled earlier a little bit. Johnny Peralta. Let's grab these penny sleeved cards, see what they are. Probably more Joey Gallos. Ryan Braun, Kimbrel in Chrome, Yelich, McCutcheon, Bellinger, Chris Bryant in the Windy City variant. Mad Bum again. Is that Kerry Wood? Yeah. Albert Bell was penny sleeve. Donaldson, Yelich, Bieber, Arenado, Bieber again. Lots of Biebers. Donaldson again. And like I said, Joey Gallo. Syndergaard. Do I have that? Syndergaard, did he make it back to the White Sox roster yet? I know he signed that minor league deal. Some 90 tops there. Pedro, Chris Bryant, Anderson, Javi Lopez in the special design there. Cliff Floyd, Delgado early in his career. Larry Walker rookie card. Jack Morris. One thing I always count on with, getting them from him when I do travel back east, I always like to stop there, not just talk to him, hang out. He's a good guy. But it's always great variety in everything I get from him. It looks like the puzzle piece put together, the actual puzzle. Never seen that in a penny sleeve before. Gary Sheffield at 90 Leaf. Need the Thomas out of that set, right? Devers. Got that Devers, hand-numbered card out of the Heritage High number, and boy, did that value tank out of that. I got to see what this is. This card is thick. This is Edwin Encarnacion. And Topps Tribute. 2016. But it is thick. Thick. Reynolds, Sandberg, Matty Alou in the Heritage Flashback. Kenny Lofton, Alcantara. Is he going to get dealt? Or are they going to wait till the offseason to deal him just because he's having such an awful year? How about that's one to pull out. Now it's beat up right in the corner. Can you see it when I do that? But Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan right there. What else we got hiding in here? More 90 Tops, more 90 Donruss, and our random Charlie Hayes upper deck card. Let's go back to these penny sleeve cards. More Sheffield. This is Brandon Lyon from Utah, another thick card. There's Bonds and Bonilla. Look how small Barry Bonds is next to Bobby Bonilla in that picture. Steinbach, GT Real Muto, Mookie Wilson. That's a neat card. I like that card. Griffey Sr., the Pirate Parrot. George Foster, 85. Donruss, nice. Keith Hernandez. Do I have that in my Hernandez collection? We're going to pop that out and see. Some chromes here. Brian Hayes, debut Kings, Buster Posey, and Stanton, Arenado. There's a, what do you call the Diamante cut there from that. And there's something going on outside. There's a car going up and down the street very loudly. I don't know if the mic can catch it, but you know, I live in a Mick neighborhood. You shouldn't, and I'm not on the main street. So going up and down the street loud is odd. Maybe I just need more of that. Used to drink Smirnoff Ice and go to play trivia in college. We'll throw back to that. Hello, Grotto Pizza. There's somebody said 89 Bowman before. I just throw them in the mixed box too with the baseball stuff because they're too big for my packs. Mancini, the kid. Bonds, Gleyber Torres, again, starting an all-star game. Ripken again. Griffey Jr. from 90 Fleer with something on top of it there. What kind of crud's on that? Wisdom, Ripken, Ron Darling, Doc Gooden, Michael Jack Schmidt, Mets is Daisuke Matsuzaka rookie card. Strasburg from 12, Ginter. Down here, Syndergaard for me. Yeah, I want to know if he's getting back. I'm rooting for him. I always liked him. Kyle Lewis didn't exactly work out. There's a David Wright I definitely don't have. More Beltron. And another Beltron. That is Todd Helton. Clemens, Record Breakers card. Some David Price. What year is that Prism? Say 15 Prism. Rendon. Another Abreu. And let's just start pile here. So we're most of the way through this box, right? Here's some more of this 90 tops, right, that I can just pull out of here. Let's see what the rookies cards are in here, though. The insert cards, where are they? Did I get close to them yet? Yeah, there they are. Kevin Brown. And David West. Let's see what this is. And we got a mini of Johnny Cueto. Lots and lots of good stuff for the packs. Some Bowman Platinum. Starling Marte in a parallel design there. Santana Mini. The minis I just throw in as bonus cards packs. I don't count them towards the 30. So, let's see. Anything else different in here? What's this? Oh, we got some old, what is this? Upper Deck. 08 Upper Deck. Catfish Hunter. Fred Lynn. It's a Bowman Heritage again. Is this this one different some way? It's thicker, this Kinsler card. It's not numbered or anything. It's just, maybe it's a parallel. Santana, more Topps Heritage here. Way back in the years for Topps Heritage here. That's Sweeney and that same, maybe a parallel. Is there more of it here? Oh, more hockey. Guess I can start another overstock box after all. Lots and lots of hockey. Is that Patrick Waugh? No, it's Jocelyn Thibault. So this is mid-90s, late now. It's 96, 97 hockey. Sandis Ojelynch scoring the game winner. Some more of that Heritage. And what's over here? Is this that Ginter stuff again? So with the locations and all. Ohio, Oregon, South Dakota, Todd Helton from Tennessee, David Wright, sure. Kurt Schilling, I had no idea he was from Alaska. Chase Utley, Victorino, Jason Schmidt, Casey Blake. Who's the Indiana card in this set? If we find it. Maine. Another David Wright. Yep. Ben Franklin's going to my office. The other cards. Put it over here at the election cards. Random Allen and Ginter checklist. That Jonas Salk is the polio vaccine, right? The Fall of the Berlin Wall. I'm going to keep that in my office too. And Crack the Code. I have no idea what that is. Must be some kind of thing. There's Franklin again. Roy Halladay. More of these state cards. And we got some 93 Fleer. Yeah, so. Well, I'm running out of energy as we're doing all this. There's plenty more. Let's go over here. There's plenty more of this. This is all that Allen and Ginter, right? There's plenty more. These look like more hockey cards here. What are these? Just to see something different here. I forget what it's from. The bazooka set of some kind. I forget where it's from. Got some propaganda junk. And some more bazookas. Shining Stars. So there's more of them. Here we got some. That's 87 tops. Let's look at the 89 upper deck. Pete Stanisic. One of the worst starting lineups ever. In terms of players that got a starting lineup figure. Yep, nobody big in that. Let's see, what are these back here? Got some older cards here. Let's look at them real quick. This is 86 Fleer. No way we're going to find a Canseco, but anybody else of note? Santiago's rookie card. That would have been something in 1987, wouldn't it? And Len Matuzik. It's Kevin Elster. It's probably his rookie. Some 87 Fleer. Let me get some random football cards, including Russell Maryland that I got to check if I have my PC. He's one of the Cowboys at PC since he was the #1 draft pick. Some other random football cards here. The other ones, some random basketball. A Reggie Jackson that is not the hit. Is that Bagwell's rookie? It is. Jeff Bagwell rookie card. Random hockey again. Is that? What do I do with the hockey pop? Oh, right here. Mitch Richmond. Brandon Belt. Johnny Damon. Ionics. Xander Bogaerts. DeGrom League Leaders card. I probably have that. Arenado. LeMahieu. Devers. Bellinger's been on fire recently. And Stanton again. What else is in here? Anything of note? No, not really. So why don't we wind things down here? And I'm sorry Cappy didn't hang out with us. Really wish he would have. But he's a cat. So he's gonna do cat things, right? But again, big orders in my shop, right? The new Cappy stickers. So staring at the camera. I like that one. That's my favorite, the orange one. So Might get one of them if you order over there in the shop. And the stuff lasts for a couple more days. Of course, we've got the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. We're approaching 1,700. I guess I had hoped that we would go a little faster with things, but it is what it is, right? I mean, you gotta hit to get views, as I'm learning to, on YouTube here. So either way, right? But this is fun to just sit here and do this and look through stuff and go through stuff, and I got a lot to do, right? And I still got this binder back here, so maybe we'll come back again next week at some point. Maybe we'll go live again, because like I said, that's the biggest binder of cards I've ever seen, just in one binder. And it looks like a random mix of stuff in there. So hopefully that will work out, and we'll talk again soon. So thanks for hanging out with us. We hung out this whole time. Cheers to you, and I'll drink to that. And we will see you next time. Have a good one.